Hello. Yes, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you can hear my voice and also see my screen clearly. So today's webinar, I want us to look at something very, very important. I'm going to look at a list of strategies, those that personally I've traded, and I think that they are very useful, they are very, very profitable for everyone who is thinking to start knowing how to trade. So the main strategy I'm going to look at, the first one, I want us to look at the breakout strategy. So from the name breakout simply means the price either goes above a level, retrace back to that same level, then continues to the upper side, or the price breaks below a given level, then continue. After breaking below, it retraces back to the same level before it continues to the lower side. So that is a very simple definition of a breakout. This is, as you can see on my screen, you can see here we had a support, we anticipate a break below this level, then a retracement before the price continues in that direction. So this breakout here, this is what's known as a breakout, then this is a retracement. We'll draw a template for that. Let me draw that now. Assuming we have something like this, we have a level like this, we have a very good resistance here, then the price goes up, touches that level, then it pulls back down, then it again continues up, then it retraces down, then it goes up, then it retraces down before it goes up and then breaks above it. So note something here, it's not only the concept of breakout that's important here, but the most important thing is to get a level which is very, very useful and watch for price to keep using it. That is, we have a resistance line, the price uses it the first time, the price uses it the second time, then the price uses it the third time before the price breaks and closes above it. So the fact that the price opened below and closed above this level is what is known as the breakout. So when that happens, when you see that the price is constantly using a given level, then at some point it breaks and closes above it. If again it retraces back to the same level but does not break below it, then this become a good place to look for a buy from. So technically this will be the ideal place we want to look for a buy from. This will be the best place where you want to look for a buy from. This is a very, very, very good strategy. Most people just don't realize it, but when you have a resistance like this and the price breaks and closes above it, this breakout is known as the breakout, then the retracement before the price extend upwards. Does that make sense? So this is a good example of a resistance being broken. Let's look at a case where a support is being broken. We have price here, so we are taking this line here as a support, then the price goes up and then the price continues down, then it comes up again, it does not go beyond the previous one, then it goes again up but does not break above the previous peak, then it goes down and then it pulls again back upwards, then it goes down and breaks below that line, then it again pulls back up and touches that line before the price eventually continues downwards. So this right here is a good place to look for a sell from. So as you can see from what from what I mentioned on the buy case, this is a sell case where we are having a good support, 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 and the price opens maybe above here and closes below it, it continues down slightly, pulls back upwards to the same level, then bounces off from this level before heading straight to the losses. So usually when the price pulls back and touches this level, if you sell it instantly somewhere here, the price will go and touch this level most likely. It's always like a sure deal that when you sell it, when the price is there, when the price is somewhere here, you're likely to see price continue downwards and touch this level before eventually it breaks like that. Then you may see another pullback and then a continuation. So as long as you keep getting out of this place here, you will be very safe. You'll be very, very safe. You'll find that you've seen the retracement, you've entered the sell, you've taken profit, the same thing has happened. As long as the price keeps pulling back towards the same resistance, you keep looking for sell positions. So we had a sell here, we have an additional sell here, and if the third one also does the same thing, we'll still also look for a sell somewhere here. And from what I've drawn, it looks like it is perfect. In the real market, you can't find anything that's perfect as the one I've drawn here. This is just a normal drawing. But the concept is always around the same thing, that when you have this, when you have a very good level, and look at how these highs form. We had like a higher high. This is a lower high, a lower high, a lower high, and a lower high, and a lower high, and another lower high. So in the future, if the price should go up, that is, in case the price goes up and ends up breaking above this resistance, then you want to see a retracement back towards the same level before the price can extend to the upper side. So this is also another good place to look for a buy. So in this case, when you're buying here, you're not buying because there was several resistance here. No, you are buying because we were in a downtrend, then the price has for the first time gone above the previous high, which is this move here, and has retraced back to it. Then you've seen a buy signal, so that you pick that buy order when the price again pulls back to this level. So this is technically how I could have taken that trade. I hope it makes a lot of sense. So I want us to look at real charts for real actual trades, real setups. It may not be that easy to see, but let me see. I look at this. We have a resistance there, and we have another resistance here. Then there is a breakout. That's the breakout candle, and then the price has continued up. It has gone down. It has touched that level. So this right here was a good place to look for a buy from. If you bought it there, you can see that the price indeed went upwards and touched that level. So if you took a buy there, the price has gone and touched this level. So this was a good place to exit from. Are you seeing? That is one example of a good breakout. It's a very, very good example. So so we had a resistance here. We had a resistance. There is a breakout. We had a pullback. So this here was a good place to look for a buy from. We'll get another example. Let's see. It's always very difficult to find, but when you get it, it's very good. Let me see. Okay, we have another one here. So we have a resistance. There is a breakout. We have the first pullback here. Then the price continued upwards. It came back down, and we had the pullback, and the best place to look for a buy from. So the people say that you're supposed to buy on the second pullback, but in my opinion, you can still buy the first one, though it's very risky. You'll buy it. You could have bought it here. And then you could have also bought it here. Those are two best places to buy from. Let's get another example. This is another one where we had a support. There is a breakout. Then there is a perfect pullback. So this right here was the best place to look for a sell from. You can see that if you took the sell there, the price actually went up to your take profit, which is somewhere here. Let's get another one. So there's another one here. This is not very good, but it's still a good support which has been broken. We had a support. There is a breakout. We had a resistance. So this is a good place to sell from. If you took the sell there, you should expect the price to continue downwards as it went, at least up to this point here. So this right here was the best place to exit from. So we have a resistance. There is a break above. We have a support, and we have a support here before the price eventually went to the upper side. So this was a good place to exit from. If you took the buy here, you should have left the price to run, the price to continue upwards up to this point where you could have taken your profits. I will get another example. So far we've been getting a lot of buy examples. Let's look for a sell example like this one. So you can see that we had a support here. We had a support. There is a break below. We have a resistance. If you took the sell within these two lines, expect the sellers to push price downwards at least up to this level here. So if you sell it within these two lines, have the stop loss above the highs of this candle here. Somebody may ask me that if we take a sell here, where do we get out from? Yes, if you take a sell within these two lines, get out in a loss here, and you may also take profits somewhere there. So there is another way you can also look for breakout. You can draw a line like this, and then you look at this, how I'm going to color it. You can see that support there. And then you can see also this support. Then there is a breakout, and we have a resistance. Yeah, we have another one there, and we have another one. which is there. So you can see clearly that if you're following this trend line, you could have seen this as a support. We had a support, we had a support, there was a breakout, we had a resistance, a good place to look for a sell from. We had another good place to look for a sell from, and another very good place to look for a sell from. So maybe you could have been tempted to draw another trend line here, but this didn't succeed because the price failed to get back to it. If the price had come back to it, probably you could have used it. We'll get another example. So we have a support, we have a support, we have a support, there is a break, we have a resistance. So this right here could have been the best place to look for a sell from. So there is a good example of a resistance being broken, becomes a good support and a good place to look for a buy from. Look at this. Look at how nicely we had a good resistance here. There was this breakout. We had a pullback, a support, a good place to look for a buy from, another good place to look for a buy from, and another good place to look for a buy from. So if you took these buys, you could have seen price extend upwards. These were very good places to look for buys from. So we have a resistance, we have a resistance, there is a break above, we have a support, and a good place to look for a buy from. And then you have another example here. So you can see from these examples that we are having a lot of cases where we could have taken good trades. We have a support, we have a support, we have a support, we have a support, we have a support. There is a break below, and we had a resistance. So this right here could have been the correct place to look for a sell from. So I hope what I'm saying makes a lot of sense. You can see from the examples that we've given that it is true that if you just spot a good resistance or support level, when the price breaks above or below the support and it traces back to it, then that usually gives us the correct place to look for a trade from. Like if you have this, we have a support, a support, a support, that's a break below. We have a resistance, and a good place to look for a sell from. So expect the sellers to push price downwards. As I said, the least place you can take profit from is this one. You can see that the price indeed went below it. We have another one. So we have a support, we have a support, we have a support, we have a support. There is a break below. We have a resistance, we have a resistance. So you took a sell, it hit take profit. You again took a second sell here, it still hit take profit. So I believe that should bring us to the end of today's analysis. There is another good example here. That should bring us to, this is another example. We have a support, sorry, a resistance, a resistance, a resistance, a breakout, a retracement, then you pick a buy. So this did not hit our take profit, but it hit very late, after like 2 weeks. but it couldn't touch our stop. Sorry, our stop loss was taken out, of course, somewhere here. So if you took the buy here, the price went your way for some times before eventually going down and hitting the stop loss. So thank you very much. That should be the end of today's analysis. We'll meet again next week on Wednesday. Thank you.